Optimism about the future, tempered by reality about how to get there. That's the pulse of Cincinnati's young people. That's according to a new report given to City Council.
And that report looks at youth attitudes toward education, crime, and housing. Another focus is an issue Local 12 News has been investigating, the city's alarming amount of child poverty. Local 12 News reporter Jeff Hirsh has more on the findings and what council may do with them.
Unemployment is getting really low, so people are indeed working. They're just not getting out of poverty.
This new report is the proverbial good news, bad news. The good news, City Council members learned, is that more than 85% of students surveyed, nearly 1,700 of them across all races and incomes, expect to graduate from high school.
Students also see themselves as successful adults.
The bad news, there are lots of roadblocks to that success. Concerns of violence are pervasive, and numbers in low-income areas are particularly bad.
Almost 30% of kids are reporting that they've been physically hurt in some way by somebody. That's a big number.
Child maltreatment is one of the highest indicators of violence later on in life. Absolutely. Shooting violence, physical violence against other people.
73% of very low-income youth, the report states, had a family member who was or is in jail. It's the cycle of poverty which is hard to break. Nearly 1 in 4 low-income parents reported their family had been homeless. Of course, links between poverty and crime and racial disparities are no surprise.
Some of these things are kind of obvious. Why haven't we done these before?
I think what happens, and this is where when we got the group together, is everybody feels like they're doing what they do very, very well. You know, free stores feeding families, you know, Preschool Promise is advocating for preschool. Everybody's playing in their lane, but what they don't get is like we're all serving the same families, and these families aren't moving.
As in not moving out of poverty. So now what? One big question is this report trying to lay the foundation for a tax increase to pay for additional social services. The chair of the council committee involved says no, that is not the plan at all.
All the recommendations come from a foundation of what do we do if we don't have another dollar?
Or if somehow we do, how can it be spent more efficiently? Jeff Hirsh, Local 12 News.
And today's report was prepared by Xavier University and funded by a variety of business and charitable organizations. This project is separate and in fact began before Mayor John Cranley's Community Task Force on Child Poverty. Specific policy recommendations from today's group are expected this summer, and those will be given to the task force as well as to City Council.